Hey y'all, it's Kelly, man. Driving through the mountains of West Virginia, man, on 68, heading to Maryland. Just wanted to let y'all know things are good, things are still good. Thankfully, thank the Lord Jesus for His mercy and His grace, man, and the favor that He's been showing us. I want to say that because it's true, man. I can't forget that. A brother in the comments, he told me, he said, don't forget to give thanks, man. And he's right, man. He's right about that. I can't forget to, I can't allow myself to forget, where the success is coming from. And it's coming from the Lord, man. It's coming from the Lord, and I believe that the Lord. Hold on, I was trying to slow the truck down a little bit. I believe like what it says in the Word, man, in the book of I think it's Deuteronomy chapter 28. The Lord gives a warning about obedience. He promises that if we're obedient to Him, that He'll bless us. And it's a big long list, man. He's talking about you'll be blessed in the city, you'll be blessed in the fields, all the flocks will be blessed, your wife will be blessed, your children will be blessed. And so that's what He promised in the Word. He also makes promises about what would happen if you wasn't obedient. So, like I said, man, since I've been out, I ain't stole nothing, man. And I ain't used meth, I ain't used no drugs, man. I ain't smoked no weed. And that's a big change for me, man. Prior, I was always high on meth, man. I was always smoking weed, man. I was a kleptomaniac, man. I just steal everything, anything, man. But I'm not living like that no more. I'm not perfect, but that's two things I can tell y'all for sure I ain't done. Since I've been out, I ain't used no drugs, man, and I haven't stolen anything. And it's kind of crazy, man, because me, with my mind and the stuff I used to do, the history that I have, man, like going to these truck stops, like, man, they're really sitting ducks, man. If you wanted to just go in there and steal something, man, you could just go in there and just steal whatever you wanted, man. That's the way my mind thinks. It still thinks like that. I still get, thoughts running through my head like that. But you know what? I ain't stole nothing from the truck stop, man. I ain't stole nothing nowhere. And anyhow, that's that. The electric APU, the Domitic on my truck. It's working, but I'll just tell you like this, man. I'm glad I'm over here in this area right here because it got cool last night to about 50 degrees. And I can sleep like that. I can sleep. I slept real good last night. But whenever I was over in New Mexico and it was like 103, and it wasn't cooling down at night, man, the APU guys make comments about it not being strong enough, not enough BTUs. And I'm not saying that's the case, because I've been experiencing another problem with the unit. It's been cutting out on me on high pressure. And I think it may have something to do with the condenser, the condition of the condenser, because it's not in the best condition. But I don't know that for sure, because I haven't opened it up yet to see if I can put some gauges on it so I can really see what the pressures are. It may not even have gauges on it. You may have to install a service port on the unit in order to do that. You know, kind of like how you have to do sometimes if you work on small appliances. But anyhow, I haven't done that yet because, you know, I'm back on the road. But that's a little quick update about the APU. But man, I'm serious, man. If I can stay in an area where it gets cool at night, like 70, something like that, I don't need an APU, man. I can sleep with the windows down. And in the wintertime, the F-Spar diesel heater that I got on the truck, it's more than enough, man. It's more than enough to heat the truck. So anyhow, that's an update on the APU. I may look into seeing what I got to do to change out the condenser on the unit. You know, when the APU unit, I mean, whenever a refrigeration system goes out on high pressure, what that normally means is that the condenser is not moving enough air, or that the system is overcharged, or that the condenser fan has went out, but my condenser fan has not went out. It's running. But like I said, I don't know what's going on with the unit really, because I haven't hooked up a set of gauges to it yet. And also another thing that can make the unit go off on high head pressure is if there's non-condensable gas in the system. And I wonder if that might be it, because the system has these well, I don't know. I mean, it's got these quick connect fittings, these hoses that you know, they don't need to be brazed in or anything. They're just like screwed on, and it's kind of like a Schrader valve type thing. You can disconnect it without losing any refrigerant or having a minimal loss of refrigerant. And I assume that whenever you disconnect the hoses, that that there's some kind of mechanism that prevents the refrigerant from escaping from the hoses, and at the same time there's some kind of mechanism on the connections that's on the condenser that prevents any kind of refrigerant or escaping from the condenser, or allowing non-condensable gases to enter into the condenser when you disconnect them hoses. But I don't know that for sure yet because I haven't done it. But I assume that it's something like that. So my next step with the APU is to change out the condenser. I want to see how the unit runs with a new condenser on it, because as of right now, that's the only thing that I can think of that could possibly be affecting the system like that, causing it to go out on high head pressure. But either way, you know, if I have to for the next season, I'll come up with some kind of system for the APU. But for right now, like I said, man, if it keeps on staying cool at nighttime, you know, I'll stay in this area up here and run loads up here. It seems like this is always where I end up being anyways, because the loads, you know, the rates pay higher up here in this area: Pennsylvania, West Virginia, Maryland, you know, Virginia. But we'll see. I know it's not the hottest part of the month of the summer yet. If I have to, I may even take a pillow in the TA, man, and sleep in the driver's lounge. I thought about that as a possibility, or sleeping outside. You know, I put a mat, I put a pallet somewhere, man, and sleep outside, man. I don't, you know, I can see myself doing that versus sleeping in the hot truck, because there's not a lot of airflow through this truck. I think I'd feel more comfortable if I put my if I hid my wallet, not had it on me, and then made a pallet somewhere outside and slept right there. Wake up in the morning, do my hygiene, get back in the truck. I can see myself doing that. Or like I said, man, maybe sleeping in the TA driver's lounge. I can see myself doing that too. But we'll see, man. I'll let y'all know how it's going. But that's my thoughts on the APU right now. You know, like I said, man, I had to go with, I had to try to make what I had to take a chance and try to make what I already had on the truck work before I pursued any other alternative ideas like building my own APU. And I think I'm still at the point to where I need to continue to pursue to my goal of fixing what's wrong with the APU. Because like I said, it blows cold air, and but sometimes it'll cut out, like I said, on high head pressure. And that's the issue with that. And I want to give a shout out to all the guys that I've been talking to. Lots of guys have been shooting me messages, letting me know what they've been doing as far as their pursuit of becoming owner operators. And you know, one guy, he shot me his insurance quote. You know, been talking with him about trucks that he's been looking at, and I've been telling him, man, just keep doing what you're doing, man. You're doing the right thing, man. You're doing exactly what I was doing, man. Don't stop thinking about it. You know, Uh, don't stop thinking about it, man. Keep talking about it, man. Keep asking questions, you know. Because, you know, like they said, the truck market is fixing to change. It's already starting to drop. And, you know, trucks are going to be more readily available coming up in the future. They're not going to be as high priced as they are now. And, you know, there's potential for a man to, or a woman, there's potential for a person to find a good deal on a used truck coming up. My thoughts and recommendations on that is to just keep looking. Even though you may not be in a position to buy a truck right now, get out there and start looking like as if you are, because every time you look at a truck, you're gonna learn something new, man. You're gonna learn something new. Every time you look at a truck, every time you talk to a salesman, you're gonna learn something new about the process. You know. And also, I'll just say this, that, man, if you see a good Volvo out there that looks like it's been taken care of, man, don't be afraid to take a chance on that. There's a reason why you see so many Volvos out here. And I've seen Volvos for sale on the market with 1.4, 1.6 million. You know, the D13, man, the D13's got a good reputation for being a good, strong motor. And I can vouch for that, man. This truck I got here, I'm so thankful to the Lord that He blessed us with finding this truck right here. Man, the I-shift transmission, it's so impressive. Previous to driving this truck, I had experience with the Kenworth T680, and you know, I'll just say, man, I like the Volvo in the I-shift transmission better. You know, I'll just say it like that, man. That's just the truth. The truck is strong. It pulls good. I get good fuel economy. And just the reliability in the truck, man. They say that mine's a 2013. They say that the emissions standards for 2013 was at a point to where it wasn't the first year of them implementing that system, and it's got a pretty good reputation for being reliable as far as the emission system that they have on the 2013s. The newer trucks, I don't know as much about them, but the EPA, I think they refer to it as the EPA 13. The standards for 2013 didn't call for a lot of, you know, a lot more regulation. So it's you know, it's I guess it's has less. That I guess it's less complicated system. I'm not really for sure, but they're known to be more reliable. I'm kind of paraphrasing what I was told from a mechanic in Central Illinois trucks, the Volvo Kenworth dealership in Peru. His name's Greg Snell. that's a real good guy right there, man. He was so helpful, and he helped me out, man. I could call him up and he answers questions for me, man. That's a good man right there. And I met him while I was driving for a Trans Am, and I had already bought the truck. But after we bought the truck in Lubbock, I drove the truck back to Dallas, parked the truck, and then got back in the Trans Am truck, and then called Trans Am and said, hey man, I'm fixing to give y'all my 2-week notice. And my driver manager was like, why, what's wrong? I was like, nothing's wrong, miss. I said, I just bought my own truck. I'm fixing to be doing my own thing. And she was happy for me. And I went back out on the road and drove some more for Trans Am. And my driver manager, Stephanie, man, that's a good lady right there. Good, nice, sweet lady. Stephanie, she said, well, she said, if anything goes wrong, she said, you know that you're always welcome to come back and drive for Trans Am. And I said, thank you, miss, thank you so much. That made me feel good too right there. It's the first time that was the first time of me ever doing anything like that, because I normally would burn bridges and quit jobs and just, that kind of thing. But I'm trying to do things differently now. Yeah. So right now we owe less than $15,000 on the truck. We're fixing to make another payment on the truck. It's gonna be close to $10,000, but we're kind of waiting. You gotta wait for money to come in if you're not using a factoring service, and we have not used a factoring service, and we don't plan on using one either. Like I said, I told y'all before, when we first started running, we was running with Convoy. Like I said, they work with new carriers, and they got free quick pay. So that helped us out a lot when we was first starting out. Here recently, we started doing most of our work with C.H. Robinson because they pay better, and they got more loads in a wider area. Excuse me. But yeah. Yeah, things have been good. I had to fix something I had to fix here recently. The day before yesterday, I had to fix the airline that went to my fan clutch. It had a little hole that got rubbed into it and was leaking air. And I had noticed that there was a new sound coming from my truck. It sounded kind of like a deep humming wind type sound, not like a high pitch boost leak or nothing like that. It was like it sounded kind of like, whenever you're going up a mountain and you hear your fan kick on. That's what it sounded like. But it was a constant noise, even whenever I wasn't going up a mountain, and even when my temperature wasn't that high. And I was trying to figure out what that noise was. It was kind of driving me crazy at first, because I know that's a new noise. It's driving me crazy. I was like, man, that's a new noise. I'm not tripping, At first I was like, am I tripping? What is that noise? And I checked my charged air cooler. I checked my all my turbo lines and everything. I was like, there's nothing leaking right here. But whenever I'm driving, I was like, I hear this noise. It sounded like a anyways, I found out what it was. My fan was running continuously. And so then you know what I did was I didn't know the answer. So what I did was I went to the library, man. I went to YouTube. And man, I'm gonna tell y'all, if y'all watching my channel, y'all trying to figure out, you know, y'all got plans of, you know, becoming an owner operator, buying a truck, you know, getting something started for yourself. I'm gonna tell y'all the channels that I've been watching that's helped me out a lot, man. And I get my information. I've gotten a lot of information from these guys, and they're very educational. But the first channel, the channel that's helped me out here recently, especially with that fan, trying to solve the issue with that fan, was DIY Semi. That channel right there, that guy right there, man, he's got so much information for owner operators, for people that are dreaming about becoming owner operators, man, that it ain't even funny, man. If you're thinking about becoming an owner operator, man,
Welcome to Maryland.
Digging for information, go check out DIY Semi. Also, another channel that's helped me out a lot is now this channel helped us out a lot whenever we were starting our business, when we were starting our company, whenever we was thinking about how we gonna do this, how we gonna do that. David McGill, Trucking from Scratch, that man right there, he's got a lot of information too, and he's also an accountant. So you know that man's got some information, man. But that channel, and then also here recently I've been watching Cash is King. He's got some good information that he shares about the, you know, the weekly summaries that he does. You know, that's good information, man. Y'all check that channel out too, right there, because that'll help y'all out. And like I said, man, whatever I got, I'll give it to y'all, man. I'll tell y'all what's been helping me out. And not only those channels right there, because there's a lot more channels out there that's got good information. But just off the top of my head, those 3 channels right there have helped me out a lot. So anyways, back to that fan clutch. I watched the DIY Semi guy. And man, the way he breaks it down, man, he just makes it to where you can understand it. That man must have a teaching background or something, man, because the way that he explains stuff is just so good, man. It's easy to comprehend. And so anyways, what I did was I was hearing this sound, and I was like, is this a new sound? What is this sound? So then I watched the DIY Semi guy, and then man, sure enough, the hose going to my clutch. You know, I did like what he said. Turn the truck on, build the air pressure up, and then I turned the truck off, and then turned the key to the accessory position, to where everything can come on. And the first thing I did was I went out there and I tried to move my fan. And I got to remember, I got a Volvo, a D13 in my Volvo. But I guess it's pretty much the same thing if you have a Cummins too. But I went out there and tried to move my fan, and I couldn't move my fan. I mean, I could move it if I pushed hard on it. But it wasn't like how he was moving it, like you could just flick it and it'd move. It wasn't like that. And I was like, so then I started looking for an air leak, and then I found the air leak on that hose. So anyways, what I did was I went and bought me one of those splicers for the hose. I thought about changing out the whole line, you know, from the solenoid to the fan clutch, but I was like, that I don't think I want to do that, man. I think that the splice will be sufficient. And so basically I cut the hose right there where that hole was, and then I cut the ends to where they were straight. You know, because you want those ends to be straight when you push it into that connector so that it's not leaking. So I just, like I said, I cut the hose where the hole was, got them in straight with the razor, and then I jammed them onto the splice, both ends, and now the noise is gone. And whenever I do that test, like I said, you turn your truck on, build up air pressure, turn your truck off, turn the key to the accessory position, and then do the test. And first of all, my repair work was good. There was no air leaking out from the splice. And second of all, the fan was loose. I could spin it with my hand. And now the fan is also it's operating like it should. I turned my truck on with my AC off and my compressor button turned off, and my fan is not constantly running anymore. And whenever I turn my AC on and turn my compressor button on and it runs for a minute, I can see and observe my fan turning on, turning off like it's supposed to. So, you know, I'm glad that that's all it was. All I had to do was, you know, instead of me taking it to a shop, you know, taking the truck off the road, going into a shop, waiting for the shop, then paying the shop, you know, I watched the DIY semi guy in a video that he made, and I was able to figure it out. Then I went into the Kenworth dealership, and I asked them, hey, do y'all have a 1/4 inch airline splice back to back that I could buy? And I bought it for like $12, and I fixed the problem myself. And yeah, that's it. It's done. It's fixed. And so that's just an example of why I say, man, y'all keep thinking about it, man. Y'all keep watching these videos. Y'all keep researching, you know, all this stuff, man. And it's gonna help you out. It's gonna help you out. And but yeah. So yeah, I'm just glad things are good, man. The economy's they say it's going into a recession. Rates have been going down. They're not like what they was when we started in November. Man, you see, God blessed us, man, because look, we bought our truck in November 2021. And I know that we paid an inflated price for the truck that we bought, but it ain't nothing compared to what trucks are going for right now and what they was going for last month. I seen a truck recently, same truck as mine, with 100,000 more miles on it. They was asking 60,000 for it. You know, but we was blessed because we jumped in at that time. We jumped in at a time where we got a truck for a decent price. Yeah, it was probably still inflated, but we got it for a decent price at that time in the market. And then we got rolling in time to where we was able to catch them rates for that was popping in November 2021, December, January, February. Man, the rates was popping right there. For sure. But right now, the rates have been going down. But the good thing about it is that we already just about got our truck and trailer paid off. Now, what I mean whenever I say truck and trailer paid off is that, well, we already own the truck and trailer. We got the title for both of them. But what I mean whenever I say that is that the loan that my sister took out that helped us fund the business, she took out a $60,000 loan on a 5-year note. And we're already about to have that paid off. And as the rates drop, since the rates have been dropping, we're at a point to where our operating cost and our debt is not going to be high. It's not going to be high. And I just wanted to say that. You know, the guys talk about how it's all about how you organize your business, how you run your business. And I have to say that that's true, man. And the dedication that you put into it, I think they got a word for it called bootstrap entrepreneurialism. Basically, what that means is that the owner of the business is going to put his blood, sweat, and tears into the business, man, to see the success of that business. And that's what we've done. That's what I try to do. That's what my sister does. You know, and I couldn't have done it. I couldn't have done this, and I can't continue. I could not continue to do this if I'm over here, you know, doing stupid shit like fucking getting high, getting spun out on meth, man, staying up for 4 or 5 days, well, actually weeks at a time. But I can't even afford to stay up a day at a time, man, because I gotta operate this truck safely. I gotta make sure that, if I get popped for another random, I got popped for one random, and it felt good not having to worry about, oh man, I need to do this, let me try this, let me try that, to try to, deceive the test. I'm clean, man. I know I'm clean. My sister called me up and said, hey, we got called for a random. I said, cool. She said, I'm gonna send you over here. She seen where I was at. She seen which direction I was heading. She said, I'm sending you over here to go take your drug test. Man, no hassle, no worries, man. On my way to delivery, I stopped by this one little place, man. Went in, took my drug test, didn't have nothing to worry about, man. I think it was 2 days later, we got the results back. You know, and it just felt good, man. And but yeah, right now, man, we're fixing to have the truck paid off, and we're at a point to where we can kind of we can afford to run at these cheaper rates because our debt, we have less debt, than when we first started off. And when we first started off, thankfully the rates was paying a lot better, and it helped us out a lot to get our business established, to get our confidence up, to get us up and rolling. So I'm just thankful that the timing worked out for it, man. Thankful for God's favor and his blessing on us, man. And I can't forget that. I can't forget that, man. So a lot of times whenever I tell people this story about how we started this business, a lot of people automatically assume that my sister has a lot of money. And that couldn't be further from the truth, man. She came from the same place I came from, man. We grew up in Oak Cliff, man. She graduated from Sunset. The day I got arrested and went to prison, went to county jail, and then eventually went to prison, I was skipping school from Sunset. So we kind of grew up in the hood, man. Our family life wasn't the best, wasn't the most stable. We didn't come from money. Our parents don't have no money. Matter of fact, I'll show y'all where we came from one of these days. I'll show y'all a video of my dad's house, and you won't believe it, man. I'll save that story for another video. But this is the neighborhood that I wasn't the only one stealing trucks back then in this neighborhood. Everybody was spun out on meth. They might, you park a stolen truck down the street from the house, and you'll be walking back to the truck to go on another episode of some madness, and you'll see a squad car parked next to the truck, waiting on the tow truck to take it away. You see that like every couple of days, man. Stuff like that, man. The neighbor's house, the neighbor caught his house on fire, man, cooking meth, and then the city came and bulldozed it down. So that, my sister she don't have a lot of money, man, but I'll tell you this, she does have a lot of smarts. And she's almost like the exact opposite of me. Whenever I was out running the streets as a young teenager, she was the one staying inside watching Seventh Heaven, man. Getting ready to go to sleep and wake up and go to school in the morning type stuff. She ain't never done no drugs, man. She ain't got no felonies. She ain't did no crimes. But we did come from the same place, man. So she don't have a lot of money, man. I'm just telling y'all this because a lot of people think a lot of people think and assume that she must have a lot of money for whenever, like I said, whenever I recount the story of how we started our business, and that's just not the case. You know, I got out of prison. I got it in my head somehow. I don't even know. I couldn't even tell you exactly how, man. Probably just the thought of making money. I got out of prison that I wanted to get my CDL, and I started calling companies around, seeing if they would sponsor my training. And I got shot. At first, they was like, yeah, we'll take you. They got to my felonies and then they shot me down. I told y'all this before. But from that point on, I didn't give up on it. And so what I did, my sister actually, she knew what I was going through. And she said, you know what, you should get the Texas Workforce Commissions. You ought to ask them and see if they'll pay for your training. Because whenever she was 17 or 18, they actually paid for her training. Some training that she got. And so I applied for that, but they wasn't responding back real quick. So while I was waiting to see what they was gonna do, I got another idea in my head. I was like, well, you know what? I'm just gonna go and get my permit on my own. Study for these tests and get my permit on my own, and then once I get my permit, I'll just figure it out from there. I don't know what I'm gonna do, but I'll just figure it out from there. So that's what I did. I went to the DMV off of Wheatland and 35. I submitted all my paperwork and they accepted it and they sat me down to take the test. I didn't pass it that first time. But after leaving that office that first time, I was so excited because after them accepting my paperwork and letting me take the test, it just helped me see. It helped me see it that much more clearly. I could see it better. And it helped me out. So after I finished taking the test, I felt it. I just felt good walking out of there. I was like, because I knew what I had to do. All right, I need to go back to the house. I need to read that manual. I need to study for this test and come back and pass this test. And that's what I did. So it took me 3 times to pass the test, but I passed it. And I got my permit on my own. In the meantime, Texas Workforce Commission came back and let me know, hey, we're gonna pay for your training. What truck driving school you want to go to? Shoot, I was looking at truck driving schools and I went to Continental Truck Driving School in Dallas, man. And I told y'all this and I'll tell y'all again, that's a good place, man. All them people up there are good people. They taught me how to drive a truck. I ain't got no kind of restrictions on my license, man. You know, they helped me out a lot, man. I'm talking about I'm out of prison, man. I don't got no car. I've been working at Target temporary, making a few dollars a day, man. And man, I had this vision that I wanted to get my CDL, and that's what I was working towards. And before you knew it, I was in truck driving school, in a truck, man, learning how to drive a truck. And before I finished truck driving school, before I got my license, man, I was hunting for a job. And go with a mega carrier versus a smaller company, because I figured it'd just be better there. So I was applying at a lot of these different places, man, and I got shot down by a lot of people because I didn't have no experience, and also I didn't even have my CDL yet, and also because I have felonies. But I had 2 companies saying, when you get your CDL, man, we'll hire you. Western Express and Trans Am. I ended up going with Trans Am, and I'm glad I did, because it worked out for me. It served its purpose, and I'm thankful to Trans Am, and I always will be thankful to Trans Am. And I made money in Trans Am. You see, before I got into truck driving, I was working at Target Temporaries, man, making like $60 a day at the most, unloading containers. You know, and then I started going to truck driving school, and I started researching truck driving, and I hear these stories about these guys making $1,000 a week, $1,500 a week, $1,800 a week. And I was like, man, I couldn't believe it, man. And guess what? Since I've been driving a truck, when I was at Trans Am, I seen a $1,000 paycheck. I seen a $1,500 paycheck. I seen an $1,800 paycheck, man. And while I was driving with Trans Am, I was reading about these owner-operators, researching these owner-operators. Since then, since I become, and I was researching them, and I was hearing about them making $5,000 in 1 week, you know. And now since I become an owner-operator, man, I'm not bragging, I'm just telling y'all the truth, man. I made over $5,000 in 2 days one time. I made $3,700 in 1 day, one load. You know, we've had better than $10,000 in 1 week. You know, last month, the month of May, we did 34,000. And like I said, man, we already almost got the truck paid off. And right now I got 700 on the odometer. I got 761458. 761,000 miles. Yeah, 761,000 miles, 458 on the truck, and it's just about paid off. But like I said, we already got the title to the truck and trailer. Whenever I say paid off, I'm talking about that loan. But so that's how we started our business, man. That's kind of like what's led me to where I'm at right now. And I'll tell you about how I found the truck. I found the truck whenever I was passing through Lubbock, driving for Trans Am. I was passing through Lubbock. I had already been looking at any opportunity I had to look at a truck while I was driving for Trans Am. I was getting out looking at a truck. I was pulling the Trans Am truck and trailer up onto dealership lots, hopping out and saying, "What kind of trucks y'all got for sale?" You know, I ran into some salesmen that didn't even act like they had the time to talk with me, man. That's all right. You mind if I take a look at the trucks you got on the lot? I go look at the trucks, man. I talk to the salesman. You know, sit down and talk with him in his office if he had the time. or the interest. And I do that, man, everywhere. And that's what I have been doing. So I came across Bruckner's in Lubbock while I was driving for Trans Am, passing through Lubbock, man. And I stopped there. And that's whenever I came across his truck, man. It was the best thing I had seen so far. That's the reason why I tell y'all be looking for trucks before it's time for y'all to buy a truck. Because the more experience you have at looking at trucks, whenever you come across a truck that's a good deal, you will be able to recognize whether or not it's a good deal based on what you've already seen out there. You won't have to ask anybody, is this a good deal? You'll be able to know for sure, because you want to know why? Because you got that experience at it. And keep doing it, because the truck market changes. You know, what was a good deal last year wasn't a good deal back in 2019. You know, so you got to stay in touch with what the market is. You can't be afraid to go out there. I mean, you may not have the money for the truck. You may not got that part figured out yet. But you do have the opportunity to get out there and start gaining experience with looking at trucks, talking with salesmen, you know, knowing what to look for in a truck. You know, knowing how to compare trucks, just different things like that. You got to get over that feeling of goofiness, because I felt it too. You may feel kind of goofy doing it. Maybe you may feel like you're wasting your time or wasting their time, but you know what? You got to fight through that feeling. Get out there and do it anyways. Also, I don't want to speak too much on this, but I'm going to touch on it a little bit. We're going to be starting a brokerage, me and my sister. And we're already in the process of getting that set up. We don't know exactly how that's going to go, but this is what our general idea and strategy for starting that brokerage, for starting out. This is what our goal is. This is what our strategy is. We want to start the brokerage, and we want to make at least enough money in our first year of owning and operating our brokerage to pay for the bond that we're going to have to, that's required for us to have in order to operate that brokerage. So we're not really looking to make a profit on the brokerage at first. Our goal is just to cover the cost of operating the brokerage. And just to give us an opportunity to get into it, and an opportunity to learn how that works. Owning a brokerage, operating a brokerage, getting shippers. And our plan is our strategy is to use our trucking company in our brokerage and our trucking company. I need to slow this truck down, y'all. Let me put my engine brake on. Our goal and our strategy of operating the brokerage is to use our trucking company as a point of leverage for our brokerage. Our brokerage and our trucking company are under different LLCs. They're different entities. They have different names. They're going to have different operating authority numbers. But we figure that if we can get loads through our brokerage and then broker them out to our trucking company, if we can make just enough to cover the cost of operating the brokerage, then we haven't lost nothing. And to us, it seems like it's a worthwhile risk. And that's what we're gonna do. But we know that it also has a potential to be more than that. So that's that. I'm not gonna speak too much more on that, but I just want to tell y'all, just share that with y'all. Anyhow, I'm going to cut this video for right now and concentrate on this road, y'all. Peace.